We will build a simple command line weather application in Python that fetches real-time weather data using the OpenWeatherMap API. So, we are about to learn an API integration in this project. Let us start with the prerequisite. 1. Account in OpenWeatherMap API. 2. Requests package installation in PyCharm IDE. Let us go to openweathermap.org and register yourself. After registration, go to your profile My API keys, where you will find a default API key which takes some time to be active. You can generate your own keys if you would like. Also, you would receive an email in which you have an API key and also sample API call URL. Let us navigate to this sample. Here you can see we are passing city name and API key. So, if you know about JSON, you can skip this section of the video. So, JSON, JavaScript Object Notation, is lightweight data interchange format used to transmit data between server and application. It consisting of key-value pairs and data types such as strings, numbers, Boolean, arrays. It's structured using curly braces for objects and square brackets for arrays. So, here we will need description of the weather, so we will go to weather and fetch the description. And similar, we need temp, feels like and humidity from main. I will show you later in the code how to retrieve this. Next, let us go with requests package installation which is needed to call this API. In PyCharm, you can go to this 3 dots, More Tool Windows and select Python Packages. It would be displayed in the bottom. Search for requests package. Once you see it, you can click on Install. You can see that the installation is being done. And you will see requests package in installed section. Now, let us start with the coding part. We will start with import requests and create a method weather_forecast which asks for an user input. So, print weather forecast as title and ask for city name as an input and assign it to city variable. And let us call this function as main function. Now, let us create another function get_weather and which takes city as input because API would need city as input to return the weather info. Let us declare a variable API_key which stores our API key, and base_URL variable which stores the API URL, which can fetched from the email you have received, or I will paste this URL in the description. And declared a variable params which is a JSON objects where we are passing city to queue, API key to appit and also metrics to units. Now, let us call the API using requests.get and pass the base_URL and params. Assign the output of the request to the variable response. So, every request sends a status code and if it is 200, that means it has returned a result. So, let us use if condition to check this. And also to get the data, we use response.json and let us keep it in weather_data variable. Now, you can see in the right side the preview of the data returned by the API. So, if we need description, you can see that it is in the weather array at 0 position. Let us write weather_data of weather of 0 of description. Similarly for others, but these are present in main object, so weather_data of main of temp. For the other two has feels_like and humidity. Let us print the above values as an output. For that, we will write 5 print statements which print city in capitals. We are using capitalize method to make starting letter to caps. And you can also see the print statement in detail that we are using formatted string and passing the variable in curly braces. And similarly, we do it for the other 4 variables description, temperature, feels like and humidity and percentage. But what if there is no data coming from API for the city we entered, and it will not return 200 in this case? So, let us add an else statement which prints a message that it failed to fetch the weather information. Now, let us call this get_weather method the weather_forecast. And passes the city variable, which indeed we are getting it from the user as input. Don't forget that API_key variable is still empty, and we should give the API key from the OpenWeatherMap site or from your email. Now, let us execute the code and check. See, it asks for the user input. I will enter city Munich. And see the output. It is a real-time data. Another example, we will enter Berlin. You can see it returns the proper information. What happens if I enter a random text? See, it returns that it has failed to fetch weather information.